There was a peak for sexuality. There was a peak for disco.
Club was in a decline, and so was Larry. Were we distressed about it? Yes.
Come down and fulfill your most fantastic fantasies and stimulate your wildest dreams.
Oh yes, it's ladies' night, and the feeling's right. Oh, yes,
is it going to be ladies' night every Monday, do you know?
Ladies' night, 6 to 9, with at 9 o'clock the men come in.
They would have at Plato's singles nights to kind of introduce people who never swung before.
oh, yes, it's ladies' night. Oh, what a night.
There'd be stripper after stripper, and the women are getting wilder and wilder. Then, 9 o'clock, or a couple of hours later, the men, the single men, would be allowed in.
And these guys were horny fucks.
And then what he'd do, though, he'd have to have a lot more girls. That'd be like girls would be hired.
But you couldn't necessarily separate the prostitutes from the wives because the wives were kind of doing themselves up like prostitutes often.
There's coke everywhere. And everybody used it to stay awake, to keep going, for this, that, the other thing, feel better. Stay up, keep going, don't stop. We're gonna have fun.
Prostitution was the tail that wagged the dog, because I believe 40% to 50% of the girls there every night with their, quote, date were hookers. And I know that to be a fact because the hookers advertised in Screw.
I remember I met an African-American woman, and we went into the back, and we went into one of the rooms, and the next thing she stuck her hand out. She wanted money from me, and I just didn't have it, you know. And she said, well, I'm sorry.
There was just a sense of impending doom, but I don't know how much we talked about it.
Tonight, the city closed Plato's Retreat, that notorious heterosexual sex club on Manhattan's West Side.
It lost the warmth. And that wasn't, I think, just the steam rising off of all that water they had going in there. It was moving towards that point in the 80s when sex was terrifying.
I have just closed my eyes.
AIDS reduces the number of helper cells in the blood. Therefore, the body has no way of either detecting or attacking certain infections.
Try to take away my worries of today.
When AIDS first hit, nobody even knew what it was yet.
No one quite knew how it was transmitted. No one knew how to have safe sex.
I believe you can get me through the night.
The people who cared about their lives stopped going to sex clubs. And so you got a more hardcore, self-destructive group of people.
Now, all this talk about AIDS, aren't you worried about it? Being with so many different men?
Larry, I've never heard of a woman that has contacted AIDS through sexual intercourse.